right now, as you listen to these words, someone somewhere is making a decision that will completely transform their life in the next 6 months. That person could be you. In fact, that person should be you. Because here's the truth nobody wants to tell you. You're closer to the life you want than you think. The gap between where you are and where you want to be isn't as wide as it feels. It just needs the right bridge. And that bridge is the next 6 months. Welcome to your comeback year. This isn't just another motivational audiobook that leaves you feeling pumped for an hour and then forgotten by tomorrow. This is your operating manual for the most important 6 months of your life. Whether you're 18 or 80, whether you're starting from scratch or starting over, whether you're broken, burned out, or just ready for more, this audiobook is for you. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt truly alive? Not just going through the motions, not just surviving, but actually living with purpose and passion? If you have to think about it for more than a few seconds, then you're in the right place. Because 2026 is going to be different. Not because the calendar changed, but because you're about to change. Here's what I know about you, even though we've never met. You've been through something. Maybe you've faced failure, disappointment, or loss. Maybe you've let yourself down, or others have let you down. Maybe you've been stuck in the same place for so long that you've started to believe this is just how life is. But deep inside, there's still a voice. A quiet voice that whispers, what if? What if things could be different? What if I could actually do this? That voice is why you're here. And that voice is about to get a lot louder. The next 6 months are going to be unlike anything you've experienced before. Not because I'm going to give you some magic formula or secret shortcut. There are no shortcuts, but I'm going to give you something better. A proven, real-world system that has worked for millions of people across every culture, every age, every background. A system that takes you from where you are right now to where you want to be, one day at a time, one choice at a time, one win at a time. Let's start with the most important truth you need to accept. Nobody is coming to save you. Not your parents, not your partner, not your boss, not the government, not some lucky break. The cavalry isn't coming. And you know what? That's actually the best news you'll hear all day. Because it means you have all the power. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need more time, more money, or more opportunities. You just need to decide. And then you need to act. Think about where you were 6 months ago. Really think about it. What were you doing? What were you worried about? What did you want? Now look at where you are today. Some things changed. Some things stayed the same. But here's the critical question. Did you change? Or did 6 months just happen to you? For most people, time passes and nothing changes because they're waiting. Waiting for motivation. Waiting for inspiration. Waiting for the perfect moment. And while they wait, life keeps moving. Dreams get smaller. Hope gets quieter. And one day they wake up and wonder where all the time went. But not you. Not this time. Because you're about to learn the most powerful secret of human achievement. Success isn't about massive leaps. It's about small, consistent actions compounded over time. In 6 months, you can transform your health, your finances, your relationships, your career, your entire life. But only if you understand how change actually works. Let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah was 34 years old, working a job she hated, 40 pounds overweight, in debt, and feeling completely stuck. She tried to change before. New Year's resolutions, crash diets, get-rich-quick schemes. Nothing stuck. Then she discovered the 6-month framework. She didn't try to change everything at once. She picked one area to focus on first. Her health. She started with just 10 minutes of walking every morning. That's it, 10 minutes. After 2 weeks, she added 5 minutes. Then 10 more. By month 2, she was walking 30 minutes every day and had started eating one healthy meal a day. By month 3, she'd lost 15 pounds and had so much energy, she started waking up an hour earlier. By month 4, she used that extra hour to learn digital marketing online. By month 5, she'd landed her first freelance client. And by month 6, she'd lost 35 pounds, paid off $3,000 in debt, and was building a side business that would eventually replace her full-time income. What changed for Sarah? Everything. But it started with one decision and one small action. That's the power of 6 months. That's the power you're about to unlock. Now, I need you to do something right now. I need you to get honest with yourself. Where are you actually at in life? Not where you wish you were. Not where you tell people you are. Where are you really? What's working? What's not? What have you been avoiding? What have you been lying to yourself about? This isn't about judgment. This is about clarity. Because you cannot change what you don't acknowledge. And most people stay stuck because they won't face the truth about their current reality. Take your health. Are you truly taking care of your body, or are you running it into the ground? Your finances. Are you building wealth, or are you living paycheck to paycheck, one emergency away from crisis? Your relationships. Are you surrounded by people who lift you up, or are you settling for relationships that drain you? Your career. Are you growing and learning, or are you just collecting a paycheck and counting down to retirement? Your mental state. Are you at peace, or are you anxious, stressed, and overwhelmed most of the time? Write it down. I'm serious. Pause this audiobook if you need to, and write down your honest assessment of where you are in each major area of your life. Health, wealth, relationships, career, personal growth. Give yourself a score from 1 to 10 in each area. This is your starting point. This is your baseline. In 6 months from now, you're going to look back at these numbers and be amazed at how far you've come. Here's the framework that's going to change everything for you. It's built on 3 pillars: clarity, consistency, and courage. These 3 elements, applied systematically over 6 months, will produce results that most people don't achieve in 6 years. Let's break down each one. First, clarity. You need to know exactly what you want. Not vague wishes, not someday dreams. Specific, measurable, time-bound goals. Most people fail not because they lack ability, but because they lack clarity. They say things like, I want to be healthy, or I want to make more money, or I want to be happy. Those aren't goals. Those are wishes. And wishes don't create change. Here's how you create real clarity. You ask yourself 3 questions. 1. What do I want my life to look like 6 months from now? 2. What specific results do I want to achieve? 3. Why does this matter to me? Your why is everything. It's what keeps you going when things get hard. And things will get hard. Let me give you an example. Instead of saying I want to lose weight, you say I want to lose 25 pounds in the next 6 months so I can play with my kids without getting tired, so I can feel confident in my own skin again, so I can prove to myself that I have discipline and control over my life. See the difference? One is a wish. The other is a mission. Do this for every area you want to change. Be specific, be honest, and write it down. There's something almost magical about putting your goals in writing. It moves them from your head to reality. It creates commitment. Studies show that people who write down their goals are 42% more likely to achieve them than people who just think about them. Now, here's where most people go wrong. They set goals in every area of their life all at once. They want to lose weight, make more money, fix their marriage, learn a new language, start a business, and run a marathon. All at the same time. And what happens? They get overwhelmed, burn out, and quit within 3 weeks. Here's what successful people do differently. They focus. They pick 1 or 2 major areas to focus on for the next 6 months. Not 10 areas. 1 or 2. Because real change requires focused energy. When you try to change everything, you change nothing. When you focus your energy on 1 or 2 areas, you create momentum. And momentum is everything. So right now, looking at your life assessment, what are the 1 or 2 areas that, if you improve them, would have the biggest positive impact on your entire life? Maybe it's your health, because everything else becomes easier when you feel good physically. Maybe it's your finances, because money stress is bleeding into every other area. Maybe it's a key relationship that needs healing. Or maybe it's your career, because you know you're capable of so much more. Pick 1 or 2. Write them down. These are your focus areas for the next 6 months. Everything else is maintenance mode. You're not ignoring other areas, but you're not trying to revolutionize them either. You're putting your best energy into the areas that matter most right now. Now, let's talk about the second pillar, consistency. This is where dreams become reality. Consistency is the compound interest of self-improvement. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up every single day and doing the work even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. Here's a truth that might sting a little. You are where you are today because of the actions you've taken consistently over the last few years. If you're out of shape, it's because you've consistently eaten poorly and avoided exercise. If you're broke, it's because you've consistently spent more than you earned and avoided learning about money. If you're lonely, it's because you've consistently avoided putting yourself out there and building real connections. I'm not saying this to make you feel bad. I'm saying it to empower you. Because if your consistent actions got you here, then new consistent actions can take you somewhere completely different. The 6-month transformation isn't about motivation. Motivation is fleeting. It's about systems and habits. It's about making the right actions so automatic that you do them without thinking. Let me give you the framework that will make this happen. Every goal you have can be broken down into daily actions. Small, manageable actions that take 30 minutes or less. This is critical. Most people fail because they try to do too much too fast. They go from never working out to trying to exercise 2 hours a day. They go from never reading to trying to read a book a week. They go from broke to trying to start 3 businesses at once. And they burn out. Instead, you start small. Ridiculously small. So small it feels almost stupid. Want to get in shape? Start with 10 push-ups a day. That's it. Want to build wealth? Start by saving $5 a day. Want to improve your relationship? Start by giving your partner one genuine compliment every day. Want to learn a new skill? Start by studying for 15 minutes every morning. These actions might seem insignificant, but here's what happens. First, you build the habit. The action becomes part of your identity. You become someone who works out every day, someone who saves money, someone who invests in their relationships, someone who never stops learning. Second, small actions compound. 10 push-ups become 20, then 50, then a full workout. $5 saved becomes 10, then 50, then automatic investing. One compliment becomes deeper conversations, which become a stronger bond. 15 minutes of study becomes 30, then an hour, then a new career. Third, and this is the most important part, you build confidence. Every single day that you do what you said you'd do, you prove to yourself that you're the kind of person who follows through. You stop being someone who talks about change and become someone who creates it. And that shift in identity is what makes permanent transformation possible. Let me share the daily system that will make consistency inevitable. Every morning, before you do anything else, you complete your non-negotiable actions. These are the daily habits that align with your 6-month goals. For most people, this takes 30 to 60 minutes total. Wake up 30 to 60 minutes earlier if you have to. I know you're tired. I know you want to sleep in. But here's the truth. Successful people do in the morning what unsuccessful people don't want to do at all. Your morning routine might look like this. 10 minutes of movement. Walk, stretch, workout, whatever gets your body active. 10 minutes of learning. Read, listen to an audiobook like this one. Watch an educational video. 10 minutes of planning. Review your goals, plan your day, visualize success. 10 minutes working on your priority goal. If it's a side business, work on it. If it's a relationship, send a meaningful message. If it's health, prep your meals for the day. That's 40 minutes. 40 minutes every morning that will completely change your life in 6 months. But here's the key. You do this every single day. Not when you feel like it. Not when you're motivated. Every single day. Weekends included. holidays included, bad days included, because consistency doesn't care about your feelings. Results don't care about your excuses. The universe rewards action, not intention. Now let's talk about the thing that will try to stop you. Resistance. Resistance is that voice in your head that says, you can start tomorrow. Just one more episode. You deserve a break. This is too hard. You're not the type of person who can do this. Everyone else has advantages you don't have. It's too late for you. You've tried before and failed. So why would this time be different? Resistance is the enemy of your dreams. It's sneaky, it's persistent, and it sounds exactly like your own thoughts. But here's what you need to know. Resistance is a sign you're on the right path. It only shows up when you're trying to do something important. You don't feel resistance about scrolling social media or watching TV. You feel resistance about working out, building your business, having difficult conversations, doing the work that actually matters. Stephen Pressfield, in his book The War of Art, says that the more important a call to action is to our soul's evolution, the more resistance we will feel toward pursuing it. Let that sink in. The more resistance you feel, the more important the action is. So when you wake up and your brain screams at you to hit snooze, that's not weakness. That's resistance. And resistance means you're about to do something that matters. Here's how you beat resistance. You acknowledge it, and then you act anyway. You don't wait for it to go away. You don't try to feel motivated. You just move. 5-second rule. Count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you physically move. Get out of bed. Put on your shoes. Open your laptop. Send the message. Make the call. Start the work. Action kills resistance. Every single time. And here's the beautiful thing. The more you act despite resistance, the weaker it becomes. Your brain starts to realize that resistance doesn't control you. And the actions that felt impossible in month 1 become automatic by month 3. This is how you build an unstoppable mindset, not by eliminating resistance, but by proving you're stronger than it. Now let's talk about the third pillar, courage. This is the ingredient that separates people who dream from people who achieve. Because here's what nobody tells you about changing your life. It's going to require you to do things that scare you. It's going to require you to face rejection, failure, judgment, and discomfort. And most people aren't willing to pay that price. Think about what you really want. Maybe you want to start a business, but that means risking failure and possibly losing money. Maybe you want to ask someone out, but that means risking rejection. Maybe you want to go back to school, but that means admitting you don't know everything and being a beginner again. Maybe you want to have a difficult conversation with someone, but that means facing conflict. Maybe you want to change careers, but that means leaving security behind. Every meaningful goal requires you to step outside your comfort zone. And your brain hates that. Your brain is wired for survival, not success. It wants you safe, comfortable, predictable. It interprets anything new or uncertain as a potential threat. So it floods you with fear, anxiety, and doubt. This is normal. This is human. But it's also the threshold between the life you have and the life you want. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's action in the presence of fear. Every successful person you admire has felt the same fear you feel. The only difference is they acted anyway. They felt the fear and did it scared. And you know what they discovered? The fear was always worse than the reality. The anticipation of rejection is worse than actual rejection. The worry about failure is worse than actual failure. The anxiety about judgment is worse than actual judgment. Here's a practice that will build your courage muscle. Every single day, for the next 6 months, do one thing that scares you. It doesn't have to be huge. It just has to be uncomfortable. Have a conversation you've been avoiding. Apply for a job you don't think you're qualified for. Post that video you're nervous about. Ask for help. Say no to something you don't want to do. Speak up in a meeting. Go to the gym even though you feel self-conscious. Make that phone call. Each time you do something scary, You expand your comfort zone. And 6 months of daily courage adds up to a completely different life. You become the kind of person who doesn't let fear make decisions. You become someone who takes calculated risks. Someone who goes after what they want instead of settling for what's safe. Let me tell you about Marcus. Marcus was 42, stuck in a soul-crushing corporate job, dreaming about starting his own consulting business, but terrified to take the leap. He had a mortgage, 2 kids, and a voice in his head that said he'd be crazy to give up his steady paycheck. He spent 3 years thinking about it. 3 years of Sunday night dread. 3 years of watching other people do what he wanted to do. Then he made a decision. He gave himself 6 months, not to quit his job, but to test his business idea on nights and weekends. Month 1, he reached out to 50 people in his network. Scary. Month 2, he offered free consulting to 3 clients to build case studies. Uncomfortable. Month 3, he created a simple website and started posting content. Nerve-wracking. Month 4, he landed his first paying client. $2,000. Month 5, another 2 clients. $8,000 total. Month 6, he had 5 clients, $15,000 in revenue, and gave his notice. 2 years later, he's making 3 times his corporate salary, working from home, and has time freedom he never thought possible. What made the difference? Courage. Daily, consistent, imperfect action despite fear. That's all it took. That's all it ever takes. Now, let's get tactical. I'm going to walk you through the exact 6-month roadmap that will take you from where you are to where you want to be. This is the system. Follow it, and you will see results. I guarantee it. Month 1 is about foundation and momentum. This is where you set up your systems, build your core habits, and prove to yourself that change is possible. Your focus is simple. Show up every single day for 30 days. Complete your morning routine. Hit your daily non-negotiables. That's it. Don't worry about perfection. Don't worry about huge results. Just focus on consistency. By the end of month 1, you should have 30 days of showing up under your belt. You should feel the habit forming. You should notice small changes. Maybe you have more energy. Maybe you've lost a few pounds. Maybe you've saved a little money. Maybe you've learned something new. These small wins are everything. Celebrate them. Track them, because they're proof that the system works. Month 2 is about optimization and acceleration. Now that you've built the habit of showing up, you're going to increase the intensity. Add 10 minutes to your workouts. Save $10 more a day. Spend an extra 15 minutes on your side project. Deepen your learning. This is where you start to see real progress. Your body is changing. Your bank account is growing. Your skills are improving. You're becoming a different person. And here's what's critical. When you face obstacles this month, and you don't quit. You problem solve. Didn't hit your workout goal because you got sick? You do a light walk instead. Missed your savings goal because of an unexpected expense? You cut something else and get back on track. This is where you prove that setbacks don't stop you. They're just part of the process. Month 3 is about expansion and challenge. By now, your initial habits are becoming automatic. This is when you add a new layer. If you've been focused on health, now you add a financial goal. If you've been focused on your career, now you add relationship time. You expand your capacity. You also face your first major test this month, the plateau. For a few weeks, progress might seem to slow down. You might not see the same rapid results you saw in months 1 and 2. This is normal. This is where most people quit. They think it's not working anymore. But here's the truth. This is where the deepest changes are happening. Your body is adapting. Your brain is rewiring. Your identity is shifting. You push through the plateau, and on the other side is breakthrough. Month 4 is about mastery and refinement. You're halfway through your 6-month journey. This is where you assess what's working and what's not. You double down on the actions that are producing results. You eliminate or adjust the things that aren't serving you. You're not a beginner anymore. You're someone who has proven you can change. You have 3 months of evidence that you're capable. This is powerful. Use it. When doubt creeps in, look at your tracking. Look at your progress photos. Look at your bank account. Look at your completed work. The proof is there. You're doing it. Month 5 is about acceleration and vision. You can see the finish line now. You know that in 30 days, you're going to hit your 6-month mark. This creates urgency. This creates focus. You push harder this month than any month before. You wake up earlier. You work smarter. You eliminate distractions ruthlessly. You say no to anything that doesn't align with your goals. And you start to think bigger because you've realized something profound. If you can change this much in 5 months, what else is possible? What's the next level? Where do you want to be in another 6 months? You start planning your next phase of growth while finishing strong on this one. Month 6 is about completion and celebration. You finish what you started. You hit your goals or get damn close. You look back at where you were 6 months ago and you barely recognize that person. You've lost the weight. You've saved the money. You've built the business. You've healed the relationship. You've learned the skill. Whatever your goal was, you made massive progress. And more importantly, you've proven something to yourself. You've proven that you're not someone who just talks. You're someone who does. You're not someone who gives up. You're someone who finishes. You're not stuck. You're capable of anything you set your mind to. And then you celebrate. Really celebrate. Not with food or purchases that undermine your progress, but with experiences and acknowledgement. Take yourself out. Share your wins with people who matter. Write down everything you've learned. Document your journey, because you've just done something most people never do. You've changed your life in 6 months, and that's worth celebrating. But here's the real secret. Month 6 isn't the end. It's the beginning, because now you know the formula. You know how to set goals. You know how to build habits. You know how to push through resistance. You know how to act with courage. And you can do this again and again for the rest of your life. Every 6 months, you level up. Every 6 months, you become a better version of yourself. In 5 years, you'll be unrecognizable. In 10 years, you'll be living a life beyond your current imagination. Now let's talk about the obstacles that will try to stop you and exactly how to overcome them. Because obstacles aren't a matter of if, they're a matter of when. And your ability to handle obstacles is what separates success from failure. Obstacle 1, lack of time. This is the most common excuse. I don't have time. I'm too busy. I have work, family, responsibilities. Here's the truth. You have time. You just haven't prioritized properly. Everyone has the same 24 hours. Successful people don't have more time. They just use it differently. They wake up earlier. They eliminate time wasters. They batch tasks. They say no to things that don't matter. Track your time for 3 days. Write down everything you do and how long it takes. You'll be shocked at how much time you waste on social media, TV, mindless scrolling, and activities that add zero value to your life. Reclaim just 1 hour a day, and you have 7 hours a week to change your life. That's 28 hours a month. That's 168 hours in 6 months. You can learn a new language, build a business, get in shape, or master a skill with 168 focused hours. You have the time. You just need to claim it. Obstacle 2, lack of money. This one stops a lot of people. They think they need money to make changes. Sometimes that's true, but usually it's an excuse. Most meaningful changes are free or nearly free. Want to lose weight? You don't need a gym membership or expensive meal plans. You need to eat less and move more. Both are free. Want to learn a new skill? YouTube, free online courses, library books, all free. Want to start a business? Start service-based, using skills you already have. Zero startup cost. Want to improve relationships? Time, attention, and conversation are free. Yes, some goals do require money. but you'd be amazed at how much you can accomplish with creativity and resourcefulness instead of cash. Obstacle 3. Lack of support. Maybe your family doesn't believe in you. Maybe your friends make fun of your goals. Maybe you're surrounded by people who want you to stay the same because your growth makes them uncomfortable. This is hard, but here's what you do. You stop expecting others to support your dreams. Their doubt is about them, not you. You find your tribe elsewhere. Online communities, mastermind groups, mentors, coaches, forums full of people on the same journey. And you become so committed to your goal that outside opinions don't shake you. You're not doing this for validation. You're doing this for transformation. Obstacle 4. Failure and setbacks. You're going to mess up. You're going to miss workouts. You're going to overspend. You're going to have bad weeks. This is guaranteed. The question isn't whether you'll fail. It's how you'll respond when you do. Winners and losers face the same setbacks. The difference is what happens next. Losers let one bad day become a bad week, then a bad month, then they quit. Winners acknowledge the setback, learn from it, and get back on track immediately. Not tomorrow, not Monday, immediately. You missed your morning routine? Do it lunch. You overate? Next meal is healthy. You skipped a workout? Do 10 push-ups right now. Momentum works both ways. Negative momentum spirals down. Positive momentum builds up. The key is to never let a setback become a pattern. Obstacle 5. Imposter syndrome and self-doubt. As you start to change and succeed, a weird thing happens. You start to doubt whether you deserve it. You wonder if it's just luck. You feel like a fraud. You worry that people will find out you're not as capable as you seem. This is imposter syndrome, and it affects almost everyone who's growing. Here's how you beat it. You realize that everyone feels this way. Even the most successful people doubt themselves. The difference is they act anyway. You also realize that you're not an imposter. You're someone who's learning and growing. You're exactly where you should be. You've earned every bit of progress through work and consistency. You remind yourself of how far you've come, and you keep going. Let me give you a mindset shift that will change everything. Stop thinking of yourself as someone trying to change. Start thinking of yourself as someone who has already changed and is now living into that identity. This is called identity-based transformation, and it's the most powerful form of change. Most people approach goals from the outcome level. They say, I want to lose 30 pounds. So they follow a diet, hate every second of it, and eventually quit because it feels like deprivation. Some people approach goals from the process level. They say, I'm going to work out 5 times a week and track my calories. This is better, but it still feels like effort. The most effective people approach goals from the identity level. They say, I am a healthy person. I am someone who takes care of my body. I am an athlete. When you change your identity, your actions follow automatically. You don't have to force yourself to work out because healthy people work out. That's just what they do. You don't have to resist junk food because athletes fuel their bodies properly. That's their identity. This works for every area. Don't say I want to be rich. Say I am wealthy. I am someone who makes smart financial decisions. I am an investor. Don't say I want to start a business. Say I am an entrepreneur. I am someone who creates value. I am a builder. Don't say I want to be confident. Say I am confident. I am someone who bets on myself. I am courageous. Your brain will work hard to align your behavior with your identity. So choose your identity carefully. Decide who you want to become and start being that person today. Not someday. Today. Act as if you're already the person you want to be, and your reality will catch up. Now let's talk about energy management. Because willpower is limited, but energy can be optimized. You need physical energy, mental energy, emotional energy, and spiritual energy to sustain 6 months of growth. Physical energy comes from 3 things: sleep, nutrition, and movement. Non-negotiable. If you're not sleeping 7 to 8 hours a night, you're operating at half capacity. Your decision-making suffers. Your willpower drops. Your body can't recover. Make sleep a priority. Turn off screens an hour before bed. Keep your room cool and dark. Go to bed at the same time every night. Nutrition is fuel. You can't eat garbage and expect peak performance. You don't need a perfect diet, but you need a decent one. More whole foods, more protein, more water, less processed junk, less sugar, less alcohol. It's simple, not easy. Movement creates energy. The more you move, the more energy you have. Sitting all day destroys you. Walk, stretch, exercise. Your body was designed to move. Honor that. Mental energy comes from focus and learning. Your brain is a muscle. Use it or lose it. Read every day. Learn new things. Challenge yourself intellectually, but also protect your mental energy. Limit news consumption. It's mostly negativity that you can't control. Limit social media. It's designed to steal your attention and make you feel inadequate. Batch your tasks instead of multitasking. Single focus is 10 times more productive than scattered attention. Take breaks. Your brain can only focus intensely for about 90 minutes at a time. Work in sprints, then rest. Emotional energy comes from relationships and environment. Spend time with people who energize you, not people who drain you. This might mean setting boundaries with negative people, even family. It might mean ending toxic relationships. It's not cruel, it's self-preservation. Your environment matters too. Clean your space. Clutter creates mental chaos. Organize your workspace. Surround yourself with things that inspire you. Your environment should support your goals, not sabotage them. Spiritual energy comes from purpose and meaning. This is your why. Why does your 6-month transformation matter? Who will benefit besides you? How will your life be different? How will you feel about yourself? Connect to something bigger than just surface goals. Yes, you won't lose weight, but why? So you can be there for your kids. So you can feel proud of yourself. So you can prove that you have control over your life. That's spiritual energy. That's the fuel that keeps you going when everything else fails. Let's talk about tracking and measurement. What gets measured gets improved. You need to track your progress religiously, not obsessively, but consistently. This serves two purposes. It keeps you accountable, and it provides evidence of your growth. Get a journal or use an app. Every single day, track your non-negotiables. Did you complete your morning routine? Did you hit your daily actions? Rate your day from 1 to 10. Write one thing you're grateful for and one thing you learned. This takes 3 minutes and creates a record of your journey. Weekly, track your metrics. Weigh yourself if weight loss is a goal. Photograph yourself. Measure your waist, arms, legs. Track your bank account balance. Track hours worked on your side project. Track books read. Track miles walked. Track anything relevant to your goals. These numbers tell the truth. Feelings lie. Motivation fluctuates. But data is objective. Monthly, do a deep review. Look at your metrics. Are you on track? If not, why not? What's working? What needs adjustment? Celebrate wins. Acknowledge challenges. Plan for the next month. This monthly review is crucial. It keeps you aligned and prevents you from drifting off course. And here's the powerful part. When you doubt yourself, when you feel like quitting, when you wonder if it's worth it, you open your tracking journal. You see 87 days of completed workouts. You see $2,400 saved. You see 12 books read. You see proof that you're not the same person you were. And that proof gives you the strength to keep going. Now I want to address something important. What if you fail? What if you try this 6-month system and don't hit your goals? First, understand that failure is feedback, not finality. If you don't hit your goal, you learn what doesn't work. Then you adjust and try again. Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times before inventing the light bulb. He didn't see them as failures. He saw them as 10,000 ways that don't work. Each one brought him closer to success. Second, even if you don't hit your specific goal, you're still better off than if you hadn't tried. Let's say your goal was to lose 30 pounds in 6 months, but you only lost 15. Are you worse off than if you hadn't tried at all? No, you're 15 pounds lighter. You've built better habits. You've proven you can change. That's not failure. That's progress. Third, most people overestimate what they can do in 6 months and underestimate what they can do in 5 years. Maybe your 6-month goal was too aggressive. That's okay. Adjust it and keep going. The timeline doesn't matter as much as the direction. As long as you're moving forward, you're winning. But here's what I really want you to understand. The goal isn't just the goal. The goal is who you become in pursuit of the goal. Let's say you set out to build a $10,000 per month business in 6 months, and you only get to $3,000 per month. Did you fail? Absolutely not. You became an entrepreneur. You learned marketing, sales, customer service, financial management. You overcame fear. You built something from nothing. You proved you can create value and get paid for it. The person you became is worth more than the specific revenue number. That person can now build a $20,000 per month business, then $50,000, then more. The goal was just the vehicle for your transformation. So don't be so attached to specific outcomes that you miss the bigger picture. You're not just trying to lose weight or make money or build a business. You're trying to become the kind of person who can do hard things, the kind of person who doesn't quit, the kind of person who keeps promises to themselves. And that person can accomplish anything. Let me talk about something that nobody wants to discuss, but everyone needs to hear. The gap between where you are and where you want to be exists because of your current habits and beliefs. Your life today is the sum total of your decisions up until this point. That's hard to accept because it means taking responsibility. It's easier to blame circumstances, other people, bad luck, the economy, your upbringing, your genetics. And yes, those things matter. Some people start with advantages. Some people face obstacles that others never will. Life isn't fair, but here's what's also true. Complaining about unfairness doesn't change your situation. Taking responsibility does. When you blame external factors, you give away your power. You become a victim. And victims don't change their lives because they believe they can't. When you take responsibility, you reclaim your power. You stop waiting for conditions to be perfect and start working with what you have. And what you have is enough. It's always been enough. You just haven't fully used it yet. Think about your current habits. What do you do every day without thinking? Most people wake up, check their phone, scroll social media, drink coffee, rush through a morning, eat whatever's convenient, work on autopilot, come home exhausted, watch TV, scroll more, and go to bed. Then they wake up and do it again. Day after day, week after week, year after year. And they wonder why nothing changes. Your habits are either moving you toward your goals or away from them. There's no neutral. Every action is a vote for the person you're becoming. When you hit snooze, you vote for being someone who doesn't follow through. When you eat junk food, you vote for being unhealthy. When you avoid difficult conversations, you vote for being conflict avoidant. When you scroll instead of creating, you vote for being a consumer instead of a creator. But when you get up on time, you vote for being disciplined. When you eat well, you vote for being healthy. When you have hard conversations, you vote for being courageous. When you create instead of consume, you vote for being a builder. Every single action is a vote, and the person with the most votes wins. So ask yourself, who are you voting for today? The person you want to become, or the person you've always been? Now let's talk about something powerful. The concept of seasons. Your life moves in seasons, just like nature. There are seasons of planting, seasons of growth, seasons of harvest, and seasons of rest. Right now, you're entering a planting season. The next 6 months are about sowing seeds. You're planting seeds of discipline, seeds of knowledge, seeds of habits, seeds of relationships, seeds of skills. You might not see the full harvest in 6 months, but you will see growth. And if you keep planting, keep watering, keep tending to your garden, the harvest will come. Too many people give up during the planting season because they don't see immediate results. They plant seeds and expect a tree the next day. That's not how growth works. You plant a seed. For weeks, nothing visible happens. But underground, roots are forming. The seed is germinating. And then one day, a sprout breaks through the soil. Then a stem. Then leaves. Then branches. Then fruit. But it all started with a seed that somebody planted and didn't give up on. Your 6-month transformation is your planting season. Some results you'll see quickly. Weight loss in the first month. Energy increase in the first week. Money saved in the first day. But other results take time. Building a business takes time. Healing a relationship takes time. Developing expertise takes time. That's okay. You're not looking for overnight success. You're building something that lasts. And here's the beautiful thing about seasons. After planting comes growth. After growth comes harvest. After harvest comes rest. And after rest comes planting again. This is the cycle of life. You're not trying to have one good 6 months and then coast forever. You're establishing a pattern of continuous growth. 6 months of focused effort. Then you harvest the results. Then you plant new seeds in a new area. Then you grow. Then you harvest. Over and over for the rest of your life. This is how you build an extraordinary life. One season at a time. Let me share some truths that will help you stay grounded during your journey. Truth number 1. Nobody cares as much as you think they do. You worry about what people will think if you fail. You worry about judgment if you try something new. You worry about looking stupid or being laughed at. Here's the reality. Most people are so consumed with their own lives, their own problems, their own insecurities that they barely notice what you're doing. And a few people who do notice and judge, they're usually the ones doing nothing with their own lives. People who are busy building don't have time to tear others down. So stop letting imaginary criticism from imaginary people stop you from pursuing real goals. Truth number 2. It's going to be harder than you think, and that's okay. Motivation gets you started. Discipline keeps you going. And discipline is built through doing hard things when you don't feel like it. There will be days when you want to quit. Days when you question everything. Days when you feel like you're not making progress. Those days are the most important days. Those are the days that separate dreamers from achievers. Anyone can show up when they feel motivated. Champions show up especially when they don't. Truth number 3. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need more time, more money, or more opportunities. You just need to start. Right now. Today. This moment. Stop waiting for someday. Stop waiting for the stars to align. Stop waiting to feel ready. You'll never feel ready. Courage comes from action, not the other way around. You act, then you feel brave, not the other way around. Truth number 4. Small changes create massive results. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. You just need to improve by 1% every day. 1% better every day for 6 months is a 180% improvement. That's not incremental change. That's transformation. But it starts with 1%. One small choice. One tiny improvement. Compounded over time. Truth number 5. Your future self is depending on you. 6 months from now, you'll either thank yourself or regret your inaction. Every choice you make today is a gift or a burden to your future self. When you work out today, you're giving your future self health. When you save money today, you're giving your future self security. When you learn today, you're giving your future self opportunity. When you skip the workout, overspend, and waste time, you're burdening your future self with consequences. Think about your future self. What do they need from you today? Give them that gift. Now, let's talk about the people you need in your corner. You cannot do this alone. I mean, technically you can, but it's so much harder. Humans are social creatures. We need connection, support, and accountability. So you need to build your success team. First, you need accountability. Find one person who will check in with you weekly. Someone you trust. Someone who cares about you, but won't let you make excuses. Share your goals with them. Report your progress every week. This simple act will dramatically increase your follow-through. When you know someone is going to ask you if you did the work, you're more likely to do the work. It's basic psychology, and it works. Second, you need a mentor or model. Find someone who has already done what you're trying to do. If you want to lose weight, find someone who lost weight and kept it off. If you want to build a business, find someone who built a successful business. If you want to improve your relationship, find a couple with a strong relationship. Study them. Learn from them. Model their behaviors. You don't have to figure everything out on your own. Success leaves clues. Follow the clues. Third, you need a peer group. Join a community of people on the same journey. Online forums, local meetup groups, masterminds, fitness classes, book clubs, whatever aligns with your goals. Surround yourself with people who are also growing. Their energy is contagious. Their progress inspires you. Their struggles remind you that you're not alone. Jim Rohn said you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose those 5 people carefully. And here's something important. You might need to create distance from certain people in your life. Not permanently, not with malice, but strategically. If you're trying to get healthy and your friends only want to eat junk food and drink, you need to see them less. If you're trying to build wealth and your family constantly pressures you to spend money, you need boundaries. If you're trying to grow and your partner is threatened by your growth, you need to have a serious conversation. This doesn't make you a bad person. This makes you a person who values their own development. You can't let other people's limitations become your ceiling. Let's dive deep into specific strategies for the most common goals. Because principles are great, but tactics win games. If your goal is weight loss and health, here's your 6-month plan. Month 1, establish a baseline. Track everything you eat for 1 week without changing anything. This creates awareness. Most people have no idea how much they're actually eating. Then make one simple change. Drink half your body weight in ounces of water every day. That's it. If you weigh 200 pounds, drink 100 ounces of water. This single habit will reduce hunger, increase energy, and start changing your body. Also, add 10 minutes of walking every morning. Just 10 minutes. Build the habit of daily movement. Month 2, add protein to every meal. Protein keeps you full, preserves muscle, and increases metabolism. Aim for 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal. Also, increase your walking to 20 minutes and add basic strength training twice a week. Body weight exercises are fine. Push-ups, squats, lunges, planks. No gym required. Month 3, cut out liquid calories. No soda, no juice, no fancy coffee drinks, no alcohol. This one change can create a 500 to 1,000 calorie daily deficit without feeling like you're dieting. Also, increase walking to 30 minutes and strength training to 3 times per week. Month 4, start tracking calories. Not forever, but for 4 weeks to build awareness and portion control. Aim for a 500 calorie daily deficit from your maintenance calories. Also, add 1 day of higher intensity exercise. A run, a bike ride, a hard workout. Push yourself. Month 5, focus on sleep and stress. These are the hidden factors in weight loss. Get 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night. Practice stress reduction, meditation, deep breathing, journaling, whatever works for you. High stress and poor sleep sabotage weight loss. Month 6, fine-tune everything. By now, you have solid habits. You're eating well, moving daily, sleeping enough, managing stress. Now you optimize. Maybe you try intermittent fasting. Maybe you increase workout intensity. Maybe you dial in your macros. This is the month you push for your final results. In 6 months following this plan, losing 25 to 40 pounds is very achievable. But more importantly, you've completely transformed your relationship with food and fitness. You've built habits that will last forever. You're not on a diet. You become a healthy person. If your goal is financial transformation, here's your 6-month blueprint. Month 1, get brutally honest about your financial situation. Write down every debt, every monthly expense, every dollar coming in. Most people avoid this because it's painful. Do it anyway. You can't fix what you don't acknowledge. Then, create a simple budget. Income minus expenses equals what you have left. If that number is negative, you're spending more than you make and you're going deeper into debt every month. If it's positive, that's your opportunity fund. Also, start saving $5 per day. Put in a separate account. Don't touch it. Just $5 per day is $150 per month, $900 in 6 months. It's a start. Month 2, increase savings to $10 per day. Also, identify 3 expenses you can cut. Subscriptions you don't use. Eating out. Impulse purchases. Cut them. Redirect that money to savings. Also, start learning about money. Read 1 book on personal finance. Listen to podcasts. Watch videos. Financial education is the best investment you can make. Month 3, increase savings to $15 per day. Also, start a side income stream. Sell things you don't need. Offer a service. Freelance. Drive for a rideshare. The goal isn't to get rich from this side hustle. The goal is to prove to yourself that you can create money outside your main job. This mindset shift is huge. Month 4, use the debt snowball method if you have debt. List all debts from smallest to largest. Make minimum payments on everything except the smallest debt. Attack the smallest debt with every extra dollar you have. When it's paid off, move to the next smallest. The psychological wins of paying off debts one by one create momentum. Also, increase your side income efforts. Can you make $500 this month from your side hustle? Try. Month 5, increase your financial knowledge. Learn about investing. Understand compound interest. Research retirement accounts. You don't have to become an expert, but you need to understand the basics. Also, automate your savings. Set up automatic transfers so saving happens without you thinking about it. Month 6, create a 6-month financial plan for the next phase. By now, you've saved $2,700 if you followed the daily savings plan. You've paid off at least 1 debt. You've made extra income from your side hustle. You've educated yourself. Now you plan the next 6 months. Maybe you focus on building an emergency fund. Maybe you start investing. Maybe you aggressively pay off debt. You're not financially free yet, but you're on a completely different trajectory. If your goal is career advancement or building a business, here's your roadmap. Month 1, get crystal clear on what you want. Not a vague idea, but a specific vision. What does success look like? What role do you want? What business do you want to build? What income do you want? Write it down in detail. Then, identify the gap between where you are and where you want to be. What skills do you need? What knowledge do you lack? What connections do you need? Make a list. Also, start a learning plan. Commit to learning for 30 minutes every day. Read books. Take courses. Watch tutorials. Whatever helps you close the skill gap. Month 2, start building in public. If you're building a business, create content. Post on social media. Share what you're learning. Offer free value. If you're advancing your career, start contributing more at work. Volunteer for projects. Share ideas. Make yourself visible. Also, reach out to 10 people in your industry. Ask for informational interviews. Learn from people ahead of you. Build your network. Month 3, create your minimum viable offer. If you're building a business, what's the simplest version of your product or service you can offer? Don't wait for perfection. Launch something. Get your first customer even if you charge very little. If you're advancing your career, what project can you lead? What problem can you solve? Take initiative. Month 4, focus on iteration and improvement. You've launched something or taken on a new project. Now you learn from feedback. What worked? What didn't? How can you improve? Also, double down on your learning. You've identified what you need to know. Now you go deeper. You might take a more advanced course or hire a coach or join a mastermind. Invest in your growth. Month 5, scale your efforts. If you have 1 client, can you get 3? If you led 1 project, can you lead another? If you posted once a week, can you post 3 times a week? More action, more results. Simple math. Also, track your metrics. How many people are you reaching? How much are you earning? What's your conversion rate? Data tells you what's working. Month 6, evaluate and plan. Are you where you want to be? If yes, great. What's next? If no, why not? What needs to change? Be honest. Adjust your strategy. Maybe you need to pivot. Maybe you need to push harder. Maybe you need different tactics. Use this month to set up your next 6 months of growth. By month 6, you should have clear proof of concept. You've gotten clients or made progress in your career. You've built skills. You've created momentum. Now you're ready to scale. If your goal is relationship improvement, whether romantic, family, or friendships, here's your approach. Month 1, take full responsibility. Stop blaming the other person. Even if they're 90% wrong, focus on your 10%. What did you do better? How did you show up differently? Write down 3 specific things you can change about how you interact. Then start doing them. Also, increase quality time. Put away phones. Have real conversations. Ask questions and actually listen. Connection requires attention. Month 2, practice appreciation. Every day, tell the other person 1 thing you appreciate about them. Specific, genuine appreciation. Not generic compliments, but real acknowledgement. This simple practice can transform a relationship. Also, address 1 issue you've been avoiding. Have a hard conversation, not with anger or blame, but with honesty and vulnerability. Month 3, learn your partner's or loved one's love language. Everyone gives and receives love differently. Some need words of affirmation. Some need quality time. Some need acts of service. Some need physical touch. Some need gifts. Figure out what matters most to them and do more of that. Also, create a ritual. Weekly date nights, daily walks, Sunday breakfasts, some consistent time that's just for connection. Month 4, work on yourself. Often, relationship problems are personal problems projected onto others. Are you stressed, unhappy, or unfulfilled? Work on that. When you're better, your relationships get better. Also, practice forgiveness. Let go of old grudges. Stop keeping score. Resentment is poison. Month 5, seek help if needed. If the relationship matters and you're stuck, see a therapist or counselor. There's no shame in getting professional help. Also, create shared goals. Plan a trip. Start a project together. Build something. Shared experiences create stronger bonds. Month 6, evaluate the relationship honestly. Is it better? If yes, keep doing what you're doing. If no, you have to make a hard decision. Some relationships are meant to end. Not all relationships can or should be saved. If you've genuinely tried and nothing has changed, you might need to let go. But if there's improvement, celebrate it. Acknowledge the work both of you have done. Commit to continuing to invest in the relationship. Now, let's talk about the mental game. Because your mindset will determine your results more than any tactic or strategy. Your mind is either your greatest asset or your biggest obstacle. The difference is how you train it. First, you need to manage your self-talk. The voice in your head speaks to you all day, every day. For most people, that voice is cruel. It says things like, you're not good enough, you always fail, who do you think you are, you can't do this, you're too old, too young, too broke, too inexperienced. Would you let someone else speak to you that way? No. So why do you let yourself? You need to become your own best coach, not your own worst critic. When you catch negative self-talk, stop it immediately. Say, "That's not true," and replace it with truth. Instead of "I always fail," say, "I've had setbacks, but I've also had successes, and I'm learning and growing." Instead of "I can't do this," say, "This is hard, but I'm capable of hard things." Instead of "I'm not good enough," say, "I'm enough exactly as I am, and I'm becoming even better." This isn't toxic positivity. This is realistic, compassionate self-talk. It's how you would speak to someone you love. Second, you need to visualize success. Your brain doesn't know the difference between vivid imagination and reality. When you visualize something in detail, your brain creates neural pathways as if you've actually experienced it. Athletes use this technique all the time. They visualize their performance before competition, and it works. So every morning, spend 5 minutes visualizing your day going perfectly. See yourself completing your workout. See yourself making healthy food choices. See yourself working productively. See yourself having great interactions. See yourself winning. Feel the emotions of success. This primes your brain for the day ahead. Also, visualize your 6-month goal already achieved. What does your life look like? How do you feel? What are you wearing? Where are you? Who's with you? Make it vivid. Make it real. Visit that vision every single day. This keeps your goal alive in your mind and motivates your daily actions. Third, practice gratitude aggressively. Gratitude is the antidote to negativity, comparison, and victimhood. Every morning, write down 3 things you're grateful for. Not the same things every day. Really think about it. Your health, your family, your home, your opportunities, clean water, food, safety, freedom, the fact that you woke up today. The more you practice gratitude, the more your brain looks for things to be grateful for. And a grateful mind is a powerful mind. Fourth, embrace discomfort. Your comfort zone is where dreams go to die. Everything you want is outside your comfort zone. So you need to get comfortable being uncomfortable. When you feel anxiety or fear, don't run from it. Lean into it. Say, "This is just my brain trying to keep me safe, but I'm safe and I'm doing this anyway." The more you do scary things, the less scary they become. Your comfort zone expands. And an expanded comfort zone means an expanded life. Let me give you some rapid-fire daily habits that will accelerate your transformation. Wake up at the same time every day. Consistency builds discipline. Make your bed every morning. It's a small win that starts your day with accomplishment. Drink water first thing. Your body is dehydrated after sleep. Move your body within 30 minutes of waking, even if it's just stretching. This signals to your body that it's time to be active. Avoid your phone for the first hour. Don't let other people's priorities hijack your morning. Eat protein for breakfast. It stabilizes blood sugar and keeps you full. Plan your day the night before. You wake up with direction instead of deciding what to do. Do your hardest task first. Eat the frog, as they say. Get the hard thing done while your willpower is fresh. Batch similar tasks together. Check email once or twice a day, not constantly. Take a walk after lunch. It aids digestion and clears your mind. Learn something new every day. Read, listen, watch. Never stop growing. Connect with someone who matters. Text, call, or meet in person. Relationships need tending. Review your goals daily. Keep them front of mind. Track your progress. What gets measured gets managed. Prepare for tomorrow. Lay out clothes. Prep meals. Set yourself up for success. Reflect before bed. What went well today? What could be better? Gratitude and growth. Sleep at the same time every night. Consistency improves sleep quality. These habits might seem simple, even boring, but they're the foundation of high performance. Do these things every day for 6 months and you'll be unrecognizable. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. What about when life punches you in the face? Because it will. You're going to have bad days, bad weeks, maybe even a bad month. You're going to get sick. You're going to have family emergencies. You're going to face unexpected setbacks. This is life. The question isn't if these things will happen. It's how you'll respond when they do. Here's the mindset that will save you. Progress, not perfection. You don't need to be perfect for 6 months. You just need to be consistent most of the time. If you hit your goals 80% of the days, you'll still see incredible results. That means you can miss 36 days out of 180 and still succeed. So when life happens, don't spiral. Don't quit. Don't fall into the all or nothing trap where one bad day becomes a bad week, becomes giving up entirely. Just get back on track as soon as possible. Bad day. Tomorrow is a fresh start. Missed a week? Today you start again. Felt completely off track? Right now, this moment, you restart. There is no deadline where it's too late. There's only now and what you choose to do next. And resilience, the ability to get knocked down and get back up, is the most important skill you could develop. More important than discipline. More important than motivation. Because discipline and motivation will fail you sometimes. But resilience never has to. Let me tell you about Maria. Maria started her 6-month transformation with incredible momentum. Lost 12 pounds in the first month. Was working out every day. Felt amazing. Then month 2, her father got sick. She spent 3 weeks in and out of hospitals. She stopped working out. She ate hospital cafeteria food. She gained back 8 pounds. And she felt like a failure. She was ready to quit. But then she remembered something. She hadn't lost 3 years. She'd lost 3 weeks. And she had 4.5 months left. So she started again. Not from scratch, but from experience. She knew what worked now. By month 6, she lost 28 pounds total. She reached her goal, not despite the setback, but because she didn't let the setback define her. That's resilience. That's what separates people who transform from people who try and quit. You will face setbacks. Expect them. Plan for them. And when they come, treat them as part of the journey, not the end of it. Every successful person has a story of failure and comeback. Your comeback story is being written right now. Let's talk about celebration and rewards. This journey isn't about punishment and deprivation. It's about growth and becoming. So you need to celebrate your wins. Every single one. Lost 5 pounds? Celebrate. Saved $500? Celebrate. Landed a client? Celebrate. Had a tough conversation? Celebrate. Completed 30 days of consistency? Celebrate. These celebrations reinforce positive behavior. They tell your brain, this is good, keep doing this. But celebrate wisely. Don't reward weight loss with a cheat meal that undoes your progress. Don't reward saving money by spending money. Choose rewards that align with your goals or that are experiences. Get a massage. Buy new workout clothes. Take yourself to a movie. Spend time in nature. Have a fun outing with people you love. Celebrate in ways that energize you and support your transformation, not sabotage it. And at the end of 6 months, when you've hit your goals or come close, have a big celebration. Document your journey. Take before and after photos. Write down everything you've learned. Share your story with others. Not to brag, but to inspire. Your story could be the spark that lights someone else's fire. And acknowledging how far you've come cements the transformation in your identity. You're not someone who tried to change. You're someone who did change. There's a difference. Now I want to talk to specific groups of people who might be listening. If you're young, in your teens or 20s, you have the most powerful asset in the world. Time. The choices you make now will compound for decades. 6 months of focused effort now could set you up for life. Don't waste your youth on things that don't matter. Don't spend your 20s drunk broke, and directionless. Build skills, build wealth, build your character. Your 30s and 40s, you will thank you. And you'll be so far ahead of your peers, it won't even be close. If you're in your 30s or 40s, you're in the power years. You have enough experience to know what matters, enough energy to execute, and enough time to build something extraordinary. This is when most people sleepwalk through life, distracted by kids and mortgages and routine. Don't be most people. This is when you should be aggressive about your growth. Yes, you have responsibilities. Use them as motivation, not excuses. Your kids need to see a parent who doesn't settle. Your partner needs to see someone who's still growing. You need to prove to yourself that you're not done yet. If you're in your 50s, 60s, or beyond, ignore everyone who says you're too old. You're not too old. You're experienced. You're wise. You have perspective. And you might have more time left than you think. People in their 60s are running marathons, starting businesses, finding love, traveling the world, reinventing themselves completely. Age is a number. Your spirit, your drive, your willingness to grow, that's what matters. 6 months from now, you'll be 6 months older whether you transform or not. So why not be 6 months older and completely different? If you're going through a major life transition, divorce, job loss, death of a loved one, illness, this might feel like the worst time to start a transformation. But it might actually be the best time. When everything falls apart, you have a clean slate. You can rebuild however you want. You're not tied to old patterns. You're free to become someone new. Use this pain as fuel. Use this ending as a beginning. Some of the greatest comebacks happen after the darkest times. If you're already successful but feeling empty, you've achieved what society says matters, but you feel hollow inside. 6 months to find what actually matters. Not more money or status or achievements. What purpose, meaning, connection, impact. Maybe you need to give back. Maybe you need to create art. Maybe you need to heal relationships. Maybe you need to slow down and be present. Success without fulfillment is failure. Use the next 6 months to find what makes you feel alive. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you've been through, these next 6 months can change everything. But only if you decide they will. Only if you commit. Only if you show up every single day and do the work. So let me ask you directly, are you ready? Really ready? Not someday ready. Not I'll think about it ready. But right now, today, this moment ready? Because if you truly commit to this 6-month transformation, your life will never be the same. You will never be the same. Here's what I want you to do right now. Before you finish listening to this audiobook, make a decision, not a wish, not a hope, a decision. Decide that the next 6 months are yours. Decide that you will do whatever it takes. Decide that excuses are off the table. Decide that you will show up every single day, no matter what. Decide that failure isn't quitting, it's just feedback. Decide that you are worth the effort. Decide that your dreams matter. Decide that this is your time. And then take one action. Right now. Not tomorrow. Not Monday. Right now. Send a text to your accountability partner. Write down your goals. Do 10 push-ups. Delete a time-wasting app from your phone. Throw away junk food. Transfer $5 to savings. Apply for a job. Reach out to someone you want to connect with. One action, because action creates momentum, and momentum creates transformation. The next 6 months are going to pass whether you change or not. Time doesn't stop. 6 months from now, you'll either be celebrating the best decision you ever made, or you'll be wishing you had started today. So what's it going to be? Are you going to look back with pride or regret? You've been given everything you need. A proven framework, specific tactics, mental tools. The roadmap is clear. The only question left is, will you walk the path? Will you do the work? Will you become the person you're capable of being? I believe you will. I believe that something inside you has awakened. That quiet voice that's been whispering, "What if," is now shouting yes. I believe you're tired of playing small, tired of settling, tired of letting fear win. I believe you're ready to bet on yourself, to fight for yourself, to prove to yourself that you can do hard things. And 6 months from now, when you look back at this moment, when you remember the person you were when you started listening to this audiobook, you're going to be amazed. You're going to be proud. You're going to be grateful because you didn't just listen. You acted. You didn't just dream. You built. You didn't just talk about change. You became change. This is your year. 2026 is your comeback year. Not because the year is magical, but because you decided it would be. You decided that enough is enough. You decided that you deserve better. You decided that your potential matters. You decided that your dreams are worth fighting for. And that decision changes everything. So welcome to the beginning of the rest of your life. Welcome to the 6 months that will define your next decade. Welcome to your transformation. The journey starts now, not tomorrow, not next week, now. And I cannot wait to see who you become. You've got this. You've always had this. You just needed to remember. Now go prove it. To yourself. For yourself. Because you're worth it. Because your life matters. Because the world needs the best version of you. And that version is waiting. Just 6 months away. Go get it. This is your time. Make it count. Thank you for listening on Audiobook USA.